What is going on, everyone? Israel back again with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Washington Nationals. So obviously, this team has not had the best couple of seasons since they won that World Series in 2019. And obviously, since 2020, this team has been pretty underwhelming. If you want to take a look at the last 5 seasons, obviously that World Series was one of their biggest seasons ever. You know, their first championship in franchise history was definitely nice to get that under their belt. But like I said, the last seasons, they've been 5th place, haven't really played well. I mean, 2023 was their best season at 71 wins. But it's still going to take a lot of work to turn this team around. And I think going into 2024, there's definitely going to be some upside, I think, with this team for once. I think this team can get some decent amount of players, you know, from prospects and stuff like that to try to get some more wins on the board. But there's still a lot of work to be done with this squad. And the interesting thing with this team is we take a look at their contract situation, and it is pretty interesting. We obviously know the Steven Strasburg whole contract situation. I mean, that contract was probably one of the worst ones they've ever signed, because his original contract was from 2020 to 2026, and then over the last 2-3 years, he hasn't even pitched like any innings. He's pitched like 30 innings in 2020, 2021, and 2022. So yeah, that was just a terrible contract for them. And obviously now that he's retired, they still have to pay him that $35 million for 3 years, which is definitely not the best. So that was a big contract problem they had. The Patrick Corbin contract was also really bad, I think. He also did not really have that many good seasons with the Nationals. Obviously his best season was probably his first season in 2019 when he actually won the championship, because at least that season he had a 3.25 ERA, pitched pretty decently across the board. He was 11th in the Cy Young voting. Throughout the other seasons, he's just been really bad. The last 3 seasons has not been good. 2022, he's had 19 losses, which is his most ever. 2023 had another 15 losses. So yeah, not really the best. He had really bad ERAs across the last couple of seasons. So yeah, not some of the best contracts we've seen there. Some of the more recent ones have been pretty solid, I think, across the board. They were looking at guys like Kemba Ruiz, obviously one of their catchers. He's on that 8-year contract signed in 2023. So he's not getting paid that much money, and he's not even that bad of a player. So it's a pretty good contract, I think, for the Nationals overall. You know, he's got the options, you know, for 2031 and 2032. Obviously, Trevor Williams has 1 more year left on his contract. Obviously, Joey Gallo got that new contract with the Nationals, which is pretty exciting. $2.5 million for 2 seasons, and then he's got the mutual option for 2025 if he wants to come back. Victor Robles is on a 1-year contract, as well as Dylan Floro, as well as Tanner Rainey. So those are guys currently on contract for this squad. I think if you look at this team now, once they get some of those bigger contracts off the board, they're definitely going to be in a solid position to make a lot of market moves, which could definitely be exciting for the squad. And like we said, pretty much everyone else is in arbitration or that pre-arbitration phase right now. Obviously, they have a couple guys that they got to pay in the arbitration. Lance Thomas is obviously their most at $7 million. But yeah, so let's take a look at this financial situation for the Nationals this season. Right now, they have $127.7 million committed to the squad. With all the arbitration fees, it's about $157.3 million. And the funny thing is, if you take that Steven Strasburg contract away, it's actually like around 120, so it's not even that bad. We're going to see how they do. It's mainly on these prospects that we're going to talk about, see how much they can improve the squad this year. Because I do think on paper, you know, I think they're pretty much guaranteed that 5th seed again, that East Division. I mean, I just can't really see them getting any higher with all the other teams performing well. Unless the Mets just absolutely tank or something like that, or the Marlins just tank. I just don't see them getting anything higher than 5th. But if we take a look at the top 100, they have 3 players on this top 100. Names that we should pretty much all know at this point. Obviously, coming in at number 7 is Dylan Cruz. He was obviously the 1st-round pick for the Nationals in 2023 at pick 2. His ETA is 2024. And we obviously know there was a lot of hype around this kid, especially last season. I mean, you could take a look at the numbers right here. Played absolutely incredible. In rookie ball, he played 1 game there, went absolutely perfect. And then goes down to A-ball, plays pretty solid. He plays about 14 games there, plays pretty good. 315 batting average. Goes to Double-A, bats a 208 to end out his season in 20 games. Not the best, but I definitely think he's going to bounce back this season. We'll see how he does in the spring training. I mean, throughout the board, this kid is going to be really solid, I think. And he should be excited to get called up this season. I'm not sure when he's going to get called up. That's like, I think, the big question, at least this season, when he's going to get called up. I would probably say after the All-Star game, just because I want to see how he does in the other like leagues, you know, AA, AAA. But if he's just performing really well at spring training and then dominates AAA or something like that, I can see him definitely getting called up earlier. Yeah, Dylan Cruz is definitely a top prospect right now in the league. I'm definitely excited to see him get to the Nationals. Another outfielder coming in at number 14, James Wood. He got drafted in 2021, 2nd round by the San Diego Padres at 62. His ETA is 2024. And if we take a look at the last couple seasons right here, he actually batted pretty well in his minor league career, especially really well with the Nationals last season. I mean, you could look at it across the board. In high A, he batted really well at 293, played a lot of games there, then went to AA, batted around 250. So we'll see if he's able to bounce back and have a better season, you know, in that AA level. But once again, it's going to be interesting to see how good he is at the spring training level. I mean, this guy's 21, he's 6'6", so he's definitely a solid player just based off his height and his weight and everything like that. So definitely excited to see how well he's going to do. I mean, he's an interesting situation like Dylan Cruz as well. Like, if he just starts playing good, I think there's just a high possibility to get called up earlier or, at that All-Star break. I mean, we're just going to wait and see on this player, but he definitely should be a solid one. So coming in at number 48 is Brady House. He was obviously their first round pick in 2021 at number 11 for the Nationals. His ETA is 2025, and he's been really solid over his whole minor league career. I mean, looking at all the numbers and stuff like this, he's just been a good player. Obviously, he didn't get to play a lot of games 2021 and 2022 just because of the draft year, and then I'm pretty sure he got injured in 2022, so it wasn't the really best for him. But he plays 88 games in 2023, kind of most ever in the minor leagues at least, and he bats the best in AA, which is actually pretty funny in his 36 games there. Definitely a solid player. Definitely been playing better the more he moves up in the system, which is definitely interesting. Third baseman could definitely be a solid position over there. They just got rid of Candelario at the deadline, so definitely, they need another third baseman over there to play that position. So he's definitely gonna be a solid shout. But ETA 2025, definitely see what he's going to do this season. It's definitely gonna be pretty interesting, I think. But he will definitely be on this team, I think, when they do get good. I'm definitely excited to see it. So those are your 3 prospects right there, currently on the top 100. Should be very exciting to see where these guys, whole careers go. And I'm definitely excited to see that. I mean, my prediction for this squad is to get last this season, and, all the way 1,000. But I do think they do have a shot, I think, like around 2026 to actually be good again. I say that year just because 2026, 2027, with contracts coming off the books like Patrick Corbin's next year, and then obviously Steven Strasburg's after 2027, I think they can have a chance to sign a lot more big free agents, which will definitely put them ahead. 2 to 3 more seasons of good drafting to get even more good players. So I definitely think the Nationals can be a solid squad again in about a couple of seasons. You obviously have to go through that whole rebuild phase and everything like that. We obviously know Mike Rizzo was the one that kind of built this team up in 2019. He's definitely looking to do the same moving forward, and we'll see if they're able to do it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.